Petrovic was born in Serbia in 1991, where he lived most of his life. He completed high school and enrolled at college. However, due to a tragedy in his family, the loss of both parents, he chose to work and concentrate on his writing career instead. In this new episode of Conoscere TV, we're glad to present a new title written by Pavle, which is The Return of Ferion, The Forgotten Kingdom. The author is right now connected with us, so let's start this chat, this interview. Hi, Pavle. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation today.
Hi, thanks also for having me here.
So, tell us something about this new literary project. What is it about?
Oh, it's a fantasy fiction series. Actually, it's not just one book, but what we're talking about right now is the first part. It's based in a unique setting. It's a world called Ferion, and it's generally a fight between good and evil, represented in a specific way with a specific storyline and characters. Simply put.
Okay, let's present the main characters, please.
All right, so I went with Savior. Is like if you can pronounce it correctly, it also sounds like a savior, somebody who's there to actually save the world. Basically, that's my idea behind it. He is a young man that's like coming to age, who discovers he's actually part of he's like a descendant of a special race that's able to control some magics, etc., and also the use of the sun as the source of this energy, and he uses it to fight against evil, who is actually Ferion. And Ferion is an old from the same race, a mage from the same race who is quite older than him, but was actually forgotten and is the king of that forgotten kingdom. And also there are other side characters like Raline, Magic, who are actually companions on Savior to actually go through the storyline and reach the actual climax and epilogue of the story. So yeah, that's
okay.
In a nutshell, quite simply.
All right. So without spoiling too much, I would like to know what are the main themes that the book or the project in general wants to bring to the reader's attention.
Well, basically, again, the fight against good and evil. What Ferion really wants is to become like a divine entity. That's the actual goal of him. So that fight for somebody to take control of the whole world, dictate, etc., be the prime evil, while somebody trying to stop him who's actually inferior to him, is basically the theme of the book and the entire series, which will be 7 parts. Actually, I'm not going to reveal the titles, but that's a long series. Actually, I want to write.
Wow, that's a huge project. And regarding the reader, is there a specific target of public, or is it a series of books accessible to anyone?
Well, it can be accessible to anyone, but mainly it's young adult and adult, maybe more towards young adults. Because when I wrote it, I was 21, and how much I knew, how much experience I had in life, it's mainly towards young adults who can understand and love fantasy fiction, but generally anybody can read it. There's no requirement. There's no specific, audience.
Okay, one last curiosity, because whenever I read a new book, a new project, this is a huge one, I'm really curious to know what was the inspiration behind the whole story, the whole plot. What was it?
Okay, so I can do it. I was playing video games when I was young, so that was one of my main sources of inspiration and ideas. But when I was 15 years old, when I started going to high school, I had a project to create a map for a video game. Basically, I did it, on the side. I created also maps, mods, and modifications to video games. So what I wanted is to create a map that had its own unique story. And instead of actually doing that, I concentrated on a whole new project, which was a script for a video game. And I've written it when I was 15 in high school. And later, when I was 21, I completely developed it into a book.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Pablo. Thank you for your time. And we want to wish you best luck with the first book, but in general, with the entire series.
All right. Thanks also. Thanks so much.
The Return of Ferion, the Forgotten Kingdom, set in an imaginary time represented by multiple abstract characters. This novel will embrace you in a breathless journey where the eternal fight for evil and good is represented here by humans, non-humans, warriors, and people of an unknown past. Immersed in a natural scenario, the reader will find echoes of the Nord epic, the fantastic narrative, and the sci-fi saga in a whirlwind of twists, asking continuously until the end, who is Ferion? The Return of Ferion, The Forgotten Kingdom, written by Pavle Petrovic, is now available in bookstores and digital platforms. It's a publication by Eurobox.